This is a look at what Driveline Baseball Kai Body describes as disconnection. And this is what he says. However, disconnection is the perfect word to describe a very important part of the delivery, how the glove arm works to initiate rotational angular velocity around the trunk. We call this part of the pitching mechanics positive disconnection, and it looks like this. Well, let me tell you, this is about as far from helping the trunk rotate as you can get, and I'm going to show you why that is true. What you are looking at here is my biomechanical, thanks you physics testing program, representation of disconnection as defined by Kyle Body and Driveline Baseball. What you have here is the left arm, which is what the body posting shows, driving down violently to the left, which is supposed to initiate help rotation of the body. What I've done here is set up this simulation where I'm going to drive that arm around. Initially, the upper torso is rotating at an angular velocity, and I've slowed it down for illustration purposes. So there's an angular momentum of rotation of the upper torso, and let me just run it for a second here. So you can see the rotation of the angular up the upper torso rotating. And what I've done is simply allow this arm, putting a rotational torque on this arm like you were throwing it down and to the opposite side, or down to the side, and to see what the effect is on the rotation of the torso. And let me just run this for, so the torso is rotating, and then as the arm comes down, see what happens? The torso stops and actually starts rotating the opposite way. So I'll just run this back and forth. So the torso initially is rotating, and then the arm starts coming around, and the torso actually stops and starts rotating in the opposite direction. So actually what the arm is doing is slowing and stopping the torso and causing counter rotation of the torso. Now what I'm going to do next is to change the direction, like what I call scapula, pulling the scaps back together again. So the only thing I've done in this simulation is reverse the direction of the arm. Instead of the arm pulling down and away, I'm going to have it come back like I would describe scapular action, where you're pulling the scaps back together again. So let's run it and see what happens. So as the arm comes around, you keep rotating. There's no stoppage of the rotation until what happens, the arm comes to a stop. So let me run that back again. So what happens is we're rotating, the arm is pulling, and it actually speeds up the rotation. It actually speeds up the rotation, as opposed to pulling the arm down, and you can see the rotation stops and reverses. And I'll run this back so you can see the rotation is rotating, and then the arm arrests the rotation and causes it to actually start going the opposite way. So pulling the arm down does not, and I repeat, does not help rotation.